Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week, where I got 6 new comics plus some freebies. And first freebies, comic shop news. Looks like the Fantastic Four is back. Can't say I like that Thing rendition very much. Fantastic looks a little weird too. For the win. This, comic shop news just tells you what's coming out. I guess we have a lot of stuff on Marvel this issue. Plus our comic strip, our Spider-Man comic strip that's always in there from the syndicated one from the newspapers. And then these are some free comic book day things. I actually asked them to get me this one, the Berlin Free Comic Book Day one. I don't know why I decided I needed to have this. I already have Berlin issue 1. But I was like, oh, Free Comic Book Day Berlin, cool. I want to get one of those. So here it is. I'll put it with my Berlin collection. Let's see what's in the back. I guess this is just issue 1 reprinted. An interview with Jason Lutz. So if you want to, ever wanted to check out Berlin, you can check out the Free Comic Book Day version of it. Same with Strangers in Paradise. This is the first issue that just came out a few months ago. Only it's printed on glossy paper. Look at that. I think we get matte paper for the regular stuff, but this is the glossy paper of the new volume. And in the back, I flipped through it a minute ago. We get some nice drawings and sketches. Pretty neat. I like those. So that's a neat one. And then the last, he must have just thrown this in. World's Greatest Cartoonist, featuring work by all those people there. Who does it? Oh, Fantagraphics. Probably said, Jared will like this weird stuff too. So pretty cool. Free Comic Book Day sampling from Fantagraphics. I will definitely check this one out. Definitely a pretty good week for free stuff. And next we have The Highest House, issue number 4. Oops, stay up there. Hold on, my artwork is falling down because it's curved. I just reread issue number 3. Look at that, the spot varnish on it today, because I always like to read my comics twice before I put them away. And I think this is coming out every 2 weeks, hasn't it been? And it's just such a good comic. It's very immersive. Just takes you into the world of the highest house here. This looks like something bad's happening there to that slave. Where this kid gets drafted as a slave, sold as a slave to this big lord's house, which is like its own little town. Where he gets a job, and then some magical stone starts talking to him. So there's a fantasy element to this. So there's a history element and a fantasy element. What is that, a giant boar? Oh, I guess there's a hunt going on this issue. But it's just been such a good comic, so immersive. And, you stay up there. Man, I'm really knocking that down. What was funny is my friend Ed came over this week and saw the cover to Highest House number 3 and went, oh, that's, what's her name here? That's Yuko Shimizu's cover, who is a friend of my friend Ed's, who I think he knows her from grad school. So he's like, oh, that's her work. I was like, oh, it is? So she's been doing the covers to this, and some nice covers. So I'm 1 degree of separation from the artist of the Highest House covers. Pretty neat stuff. Southern Bastards is back with issue number 20. And I can't remember where we left off. Something with the original character's daughter. Going up against Coach Boss. And getting her butt kicked, but then someone else wanted to kill Coach Boss too, so there was like, you can't kill him, I want to kill him first. Southern Bastards. We'll have to see what happens. It's just a, I don't know what to call this, a story that takes place in the southern United States about football and mean people and violence and racism and every other horrible part of humanity you can think of. And it's very well done. We'll have to see what this issue brings. Monstrous, issue number 16. Let's mention some names. Marjorie Liu and Sama Takeda. See, last issue, our lead character got into some ancient laboratory to try and save this sanctuary city from the coming war. And she's got, giant chainsaw. Don't know what's going on there. And there's giant gods who are after her, and men and animals, people starting wars. There's the monster. Since she was in this laboratory, the monster that's usually inside her is walking beside her now. You can see they're attached at the arm. This is sort of hard to describe because it's such a deep, dark fantasy story in that it's really a kind of well-realized world with tons and tons of history to it, and the stuff that happened in the story 1,000 years ago is still affecting the story now. So it's got a lot going on in it, Monstrous, but it's very enjoyable. And Maestros number 6, another comic with a lot going on in it, but this one is moving really fast. I mean, I'd say this is moving like 4 times as fast as Monstrous. There's just always new crazy worlds he's into. Oh, there's our lead character, who's kind of an outcast son of a royal wizard family, and now he's inherited all the power in the universe. And there's his evil guy he's up against, who was his father's right-hand man, but he's mean too. So he's trying to get change going in this world. The artwork is just so nice. Trying to get some change going in this world and making it not so medieval surf-driven. But things aren't going his way. There's crazy powerful magics going on that he's trying to control but can't, and he's scheming and people are scheming against him, and he just went to a hell dimension to try to get the devil's daughter to aid him on stuff. And it's a crazy, crazy story, Maestros. Pardon me. So check it out. Outkast, issue number 35. Kirkman, Azaceta, and Brightweiser. And I think there was a little tagline that went with this one, like "No turning back now" or something like that. Because in the last issue, they were kind of hinting that they're gearing up for war against these devils, these demons that have inhabited a lot of people. He's the new head devil guy, who have taken over most of this town, and our outcast friend and his allies are kind of like, well, we can't be hiding some nice Paul as a set of art. We can't be hiding this. This is going to break out into a real life shooting war. We can't, fly under the radar anymore. We got to figure out what to do. So I guess something happens in this issue where they can't turn back, and the war breaks out into full force. I'm not sure. But so far, this has all been, your typical war with demons thing, in that the larger rest of the world doesn't know what's going on. So we'll see if that changes with this issue. I'm not sure. And the final comic this week is Love and Aardvarks, issue number 1. Him! That's the one who stole my iPod. Maybe if we all look down, he won't be able to tell the difference. Cerebus knows a lookalike when Cerebus sees one. This is Cerebus comic strips that, whoops, wrong way. These are web comics. He runs them on the web, but I never read them on the web. I read the printed version. And they're weird. If you like Peanuts, if you like Doonesbury, if you like the comic strip format, I think he does a really nice job with it. He uses all these old prints and pastes down his Cerebus drawings in them. Because he can't draw much anymore, Dave Sim, but he can still write. And he writes a good joke, a good gag. This is just Cerebus living in hell. And the 2 Dante's Infernal poets guiding him around hell and whatever crazy stuff. There's our 2 poets. Whatever crazy stuff goes on, goes on. And there's sometimes a theme to the issues, but not always. There's some sort of devil. And these are all like 19th century woodcuts. But very, very enjoyable read. it's kind of, it's not like reading the Cerebus series. It's like reading comic strips. It's good stuff. Check it out. Finally, we'll give you a little look at my fallen down artwork. I did this week. I'm using my side of the brush technique for those lines so I can get that roughness of them rather than my usual, as you can see back here. That's the line I normally use with a thick to thin brush line. There's the side of the brush line, but with the markers. So it gives me, it's not a thick to thin, it's a wavy sort of line. But I like the texture it gives, and it gives me another option to work with. Look at that little, something dinged the page right there. I don't know what that was, but it was. But this drawing has actually been sitting around since, I looked it up, September 2014. This has been sitting around in its penciled version, just waiting for me to ink it, because it was just so complicated to ink that I haven't wanted to do it for almost 4 years. But I finally did it this year since, I don't know, I just decided to. So, but I'm glad I got it done. It was a bit of a bear, and 4 years later, here's the finished piece.